Like what did your parents, did they have you work on the farm a lot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we were just ordinary farm children. We had our chores. We, as long as I can remember, I would had fill the cob basket and bring it in because at that time our house wasn't modern. It didn't have running water. And we had a hard coal burner stove, which is one that you fill with coal and it burns just evenly as long as there is coal, which may be a couple of days at a time. And then we had wood stoves for heat in the dining room, and in the kitchen, of course, we had the coal and wood range. And
your dad and your mom, did they both work on the farm? Did they both do the tilling?
No, my mother did gardening. And of course, at that time, we did not have tractors. We used horses for all.
And a
plow for all the field work. And
how many acres did you have?
200.
Wow, he worked all by himself?
My uncle, we lived, our farms adjoined, my grandfather's farm and ours, and they all worked together. And my dad had a brother, and they farmed kind of together. When you started a field, they both worked in that field, so it'd be done evenly.
What did they grow?
And they had corn and oats and our own hay. And then later beans became one of the better crops for our area.
Would you say that you were an upper class or upper middle class or middle class economically? Was it good?
Middle class, I think, because everybody in our area was buying their own farms at the same time. And so we were all in the same category. And all the people around us were about my parents' age, because practically every farm home in our area had children in school who would be our age and younger, and some of them older, you know.
Was education considered really important?
Yeah. Well, there were education to my family was very important. My father didn't get to finish school, and my mother had been a teacher, and he said his children are going to have educations. And so that was one of their goals, I think.
So even though you all had to help out on the farm,
sure.
You made sure that you did your homework.
Of course, my brother worked, as he grew older, worked right along with my dad. He always could always, drive the horses and so on. And even I drove the horses on the cultivator. And, we did all our own cooking. Mother did all her baking, and until she got a wash machine, why, it was hand washing.
But the washing machine was even...
It was hand. Yeah. Agitator was run by hand, and you had to... No, that was electric, that one. But it run through the wringer, and you had to crank it. Let's see, and the wash machine was run with a gas engine. Oh, let's see what else.
How big was the house?
Our house was probably a nice-sized house. It had a large kitchen where we ate all our meals, too. And then we had a big dining room beside, but that's where we studied at night, was in by the dining room table. And then there was 2 steps up to the living room, and there was a bedroom downstairs. And then there were 2 bedrooms upstairs. And there was also 1 bedroom downstairs.
Was the house built before your parents?
No, it was there when my folks came there.
How could they afford to buy a house had your dad already owned land?
Well, no, they, this house was on the farm. The house I was describing was the one that was there when we were little kids. We grew up. But it was larger than most houses. My grandpa's house was much smaller than ours.
How did they afford to get started?
Oh, well, they saved every cent they have, and I have their account book that Mother showed where they bought their furniture and things. And I know that the table that Lale has out in his dining room now cost them $12.
So it's probably kind of expensive.
Well, I suppose they had to save up to get that, because and we always had chickens, so we had our own eggs, and then Mother raised chickens, of course, every year, and we canned chickens and sold chickens, of course. And then we had a milking herd, and also, for as long as I can remember, Dad had what they called feeder cattle. They were stock cattle that you fed out, got in the fall and fed out in the spring. Mm-hmm.